Okay, welcome back. Now, similar to what we've done with the admin, we're going to create a wrapper for our producer so it can implement more functionalities, play around with more parameters, configuration parameters. So just go ahead and inside the wrappers folder, create a ProducerWrapper.py file, and we're going to implement this so we can use that moving forward, okay? So the idea here is to take the low-level Confluent Kafka producer and expose some options that the developers would want to use daily, like acknowledgement for durability, idempotence for safe retries, compression types, things like this. And everything else we're gonna just leave safe as the defaults, but just like you saw in the admin one, you'll be free to change that. So I'm gonna import again from Confluent Kafka the producer and our exception. I'm going to import again the login, the typing, union, and I'm going to import as well serialization. We're going to talk more about this later, but I believe the producer class covered it reasonably well, so you need to serialize the messages before sending it, so then the consumer can deserialize. So we're going to do the serialization context and the message field. Okay, first, again, one more time, logging. Know that already. Information, our format, let's do the time, the level name, and also the message, and instantiate our object. All right, good to go. So let's create now our Kafka producer class. It's going to wrap the producer, simplify some configurations, and expose some others. So let's do this, class Kafka producer. Okay, defining our constructor. We're gonna have the bootstrap servers. Again, could be string or a list of strings. We're gonna put the star here. That means that everything else needs to be optionally declared. We have the client ID. Basic producer. This is used to identify this client in the Kafka logs and metrics. So we're setting up this ID. We have the acknowledgements, will be default to all. That means that we want to wait for the leader and all of the replicas to be in sync replica before acknowledge it. So that's the strongest possible durability. Then we'll do enable idempotence to be a boolean as true. So this is going to ensure exactly once semantic in the producer retry, so no duplicate messages. We're going to talk about this in another class, so you'll be able to refer it back when you use the code later. Also, linger ms, let's leave it 5. This is the time in milliseconds to wait before sending a batch. So if you set up as a small delay, if you set it small, the delay increases batch inefficiency. Okay. Batch size also will be an integer. So this is the target batch size in bytes. We want to have this to control the memory versus the throughput balance. Now we're gonna have a compression type here, because remember when we're creating the topic, we're leaving it to the producer to define it. So now we're just gonna have the snap here as default. The retries we want to do. So let's set up a maximum number of retry attempts whenever we have like network hiccups, leader election, anything that can slow it down. And let's have optional parameters, which will be the key serializer. So we won't pass anything. Or the value serializer. We also won't pass anything. So this is the option custom serializes for the keys and for the messages. All right. Okay. What is, oh, I missed a comma here. Awesome. Okay, so this initializer, it's going to create all of the configuration dictionary that the underlying Confluent producer expects. So each parameter here corresponds to a trade-off we've been discussing, like safety, latency, throughput, things like this. Okay. Again, let's double check on the type pass here on the Bootstrap servers, on the brokers. So if it's a list, we need to have a join for those values. All right. Now we're going to define the core configuration dictionary. Okay, everything here, again, refer back to the librd Kafka so you can see all of the configuration parameters. All right. So let's go ahead and decide this time. Let's just go ahead and define everything here. So the bootstrap.servers is going to be our bootstrap servers. Here it is, the initial Kafka broker we're connecting to. The client ID is going to be the client ID. This is the logical name for the producer, only for the metrics and logging. Now, if we talk about some things related to reliability settings, we can do the X. This will control the durability, just like we've seen. Enable idempotence. We received our enable idempotence. Again, guarantees no duplicates whenever we're retrying the sense of the failures. Retries. Now, the other things related to latency and throughput trade-offs. So I can do linger.ms. Linger.ms. This just adds a small delay to collect messages into batches. Batch size, next. This is just the max bytes we want to batch together before sending the message to the topic. And finally, we have defined compression. So some options available are no compression, gzip, lz4, snappy. It's just compression types you want to apply. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and instantiate our producer using the configs that I just created. All right. Also, we can store the optional serializers that allows us for easy extension. So you'll see later on the serialized classes how we're going to use this and why. So the key serializer, and the value serializer. Okay, let's just log it. Kafka producer initialized. with brokers. All right, now we have our constructor. We can go ahead and in the next class, we're gonna look into the methods.